Alright guys, I decided to just go ahead and make a video because so many of you are struggling with Premiere. So the first thing you need to do, if you haven't done this already, this is absolute, I'm going to treat it just like you haven't even started, is you'll right click on your desktop, you'll create a new folder, and you will title that folder New Zealand. Now I already have that, so I'm just going to move that to the trash. You can see I have it over here. I know my desktop is kind of messy, but there's New Zealand, okay? Now I already have my clips in it, but I'll show you how to get yours if you do not have it. So in the assignment, you'll go to Intro to Adobe Premiere 2020 New Zealand project. You have your instructions right here if you want to do the written instructions. You also have the media files right here. So you'll click here for the media files. It'll open up a Google Drive. You may have yours in list view, which if it's in list view, it's just listed from top to bottom. I prefer to have mine in icon view. There we go. That's what list view looks like. It's just up to your personal preference what you have, but I like mine to be icon view. Now you'll want to highlight all of these because you're going to download all of them. So you just click on one and then you can press Command A and that selects everything, including this additional folder here, because in that folder is all the audio files and photo files that you'll need for this project as well. So again, just click on anything, not double click, just a single click, and then do Command A to select it all, and then right click on any of the selected ones and click download. Now when you download it, it'll download it to your downloads folder, and it'll download it as a zip file. Let's see if I even have any zip files in here. Okay, so like this right here where it says whatever .zip, you will have to double click on this to unzip it, okay, before you can use any of the clips. So you'll double click on that to unzip it. Now once you have all of your files, you'll want to go ahead and copy them over to your New Zealand folder, okay? So you just highlight them all and you can just drag them and put them into New Zealand. And once you have it in New Zealand, then you're pretty much good to go to start. Now, if you're watching this video on a Chromebook and then working on your workstation, I highly recommend that you go ahead and you right click on Chrome and you quit it out, because the more programs you have open and running, the more likely it is that Premiere is going to have either errors or it's going to crash and you'll lose the work that you've been working on unless you've saved. So now we're in Premiere. The first thing we're going to do, make sure you're in expert mode. You're going to add media, so click add media, and then click files and folders. Now it'll take a minute to, decide what it's doing. And if you get a pop-up that says, oh, do you want to allow access to your desktop or your downloads or whatever, just say yes, give Premiere access. And then once you have gotten here to this screen, you'll click desktop, make sure you have desktop selected, and you'll find that New Zealand folder, and you can just click on the folder and then click import, and that'll import the folder and everything that's in the folder in. So you see we have our folder here. You can double click on it and it's got all of your clips, including your music and pictures, okay? To go back to the folder view, you'll click this up arrow. It's like a folder with an up arrow, and that goes back to the folder, and then you can just double click on it and you'll get in your clips here, okay? Now the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to want to save our project. So click File, say Save As. We're going to save this project in that New Zealand folder as well, so click Desktop again. And then this time you're going to double click on the New Zealand folder to actually save it inside of New Zealand. And then we are going to name it your first name, last initial, underscore New Zealand. And then click Save. All right, so now we've gotten started. So all we're going to do for this first video is we are going to import the videos into the timeline in the correct order, okay? So the first one that we're going to start with is clip 7, which is the aerial view from the plane. So we find clip 7. Here it is right here, clip 7. So we are going to double click that. And our instructions tell us that we need all of the footage from the very beginning until the camera zooms in, approximately 7.5 seconds. So we don't have to move this gray tab, which is our in tab. We're going to move this tab here, okay? So you'll see the time here. This clip is 9 seconds and 4 frames long. There are 30 frames per second. So we need to move this over to 7 seconds and 15 frames to be 7.5 seconds long. So we're going to move this over till we get to 7 seconds and 15 frames. And once we have that, we just click and hold, we drag it, and we could place it down into our timeline. You don't want to touch the very edge. You just want to go close enough so that it snaps to it. Boop, it snapped, and then we let go. Now that'll place it in your timeline, okay? Now, one thing you may notice is this little pill-shaped thing moved over to the end of the clip. You never ever want to touch these. They will always snap to the end. And if you touch them, then you have to manually move it every time. So don't ever touch it. It'll automatically set it to snap to the end as long as you don't touch it. If this clip looks really small to you, you can zoom in on the timeline using this little icon here, and that'll zoom in. All right, so it says the next clip we need is the Mount Cook Peak. We need the first 5 seconds, which is clip 8. So clip 8 is right here. Oh, and one thing you'll notice too is when you use a clip, a little green dot appears next to it right here. So we know we've used this clip. But now we're going to go to clip 8, the Mount Cook Peak. We're going to double click on it, open it up. It says we need the first 5 seconds. So everything from the very beginning until 5 seconds. Right now it's 12 seconds long. So we're going to just move this over until we get to exactly 5 seconds, which is right there. And then just like the last one, we click and hold, drag it to our timeline. Again, we don't want to touch the edge, just get close enough so that it snaps to it. Boop. And then there we go, we let it go. And again, this snapped to the end automatically. So again, do not touch this. All right, now our green dot has appeared next to clip 8. The next one we have is clip 9, which is the beach. We'll double click on that. We need 4 seconds in the middle of the clip, but it says don't include the camera moving at the end of the clip. So if we move our playhead, which is this red line with the blue thing there, we can see where it starts to move. It starts to move about there, and we could tell that because of the island or mountain thing over here. That's really what's going to be moving. We can't really tell anywhere else because the water's moving, but you can see that it starts to kind of zoom in right there. So we'll go to maybe about right there. We'll move our alt tab to there, and then it says we need 4 seconds. So we've got 4 seconds of 10 frames. We'll move this just a little bit in to get rid of those extra 10 frames. And then we will just click and hold, drag. Again, don't touch it, just get close enough so it snaps. Boop, and then let go. Now we can close that out. Now we go through the next one. It says clip 1 bungee clip. So we need everything from where the man lets go to where he reaches the bottom, which is about 4.5 seconds. So if we go to our bungee jumping clip, which is right here, clip number 1, we double click on that. Now we need to find where he lets go. So we're going to look through here. He lets go about right there. He starts letting go. So we'll set our end tab there. And then we need 4.5 seconds. We're at 8 and 15 frames. So we'll go down to 4 seconds and 15 frames. And if you're like 1 frame off, it's not really that big of a deal. I'm trying to get it perfect, but it looks like it's not going to let me on this one. Well, close enough. 4 seconds, 16 frames. All right. So we will let it snap to it, boop, and let go. Next one is the skateboard jump low angle. So this is clip 14. So clip 14 is right here. We'll double click. It says we need the beginning to where he's about to jump off the wall, which is 1 second and 20 frames. So if we go to 1 second and 20 frames, it doesn't really look clean. because you can kind of tell that he's not going to land on the board starting at about frame 16 or 17. So I would probably actually make it more like 1 second and 17 frames, because that's going to make the transition a little cleaner. So we'll move that. We'll drop that till it snaps. Boop, and then let go. Close that one out. Now we do clip 15. So it says, from where he starts moving forward until the very end, 1 second. Well, we don't even need to look for where he starts moving forward because we just know it's to the very end. So we move the set in tab till we get to 1 second. Grab that, drag it down, wait till it snaps, then let go. Close that one out. Next one we have is clip 5, the zip line. It says from where the camera zooms out all the way until the very end of the clip. So where is this? Clip number 5. Yeah, zip line is right here. So again, we know it goes to the very end of the clip, so we can just move this until it gets to 9 seconds. So 9 seconds. So we will grab and hold that one and let it snap. Then let go. Close that one out. Now we have clip 2, ski lift, which is, where is ski lift? Oh, there it is. So it says from where the woman starts to wave until the camera starts to tilt down. So we are going to have to look here. So she starts to wave about there. And then to where the camera zooms, or wait. Oh, until the camera starts to tilt down, so 6 seconds. So right now we have 7 seconds to 23 frames. We need to move it down to 6 seconds. And if we watch that, yeah, that's where it starts to tilt down. So we'll grab that, let it snap, let go, close that one out. Next we have the luge, which is the entire clip. Okay, so this is clip 4. So we don't even need to open this one. We can just grab this one from here and hold and drag it because we need the whole clip. And just let it snap right there. We got it. Clip 3, sandboarding. From right when the woman starts going down the hill until right before she gets to the bottom, so 5 seconds. So we're going to have to kind of look in this one. So clip 3 is sandboarding. So she starts to go probably about there where that sand starts kicking out. And we need 5 seconds. So we've got 7 seconds and 6 frames. So we'll move this down to about there. She's almost to the bottom there. And we'll grab that clip, hold it, drag it to the timeline, let it snap, let go. Next is clip 6, the Zorb with the huge ball. 7 seconds until the very end of the clip. So clip 6. It says until the very end of the clip, but 7 seconds. So we'll just do right there. Try that, drop it in. Next is the whale. From when the camera stops zooming in until the tail disappears into the water. So clip 11 is the whale. Here it is right here. So we got to see where it stops zooming in. It's zooming in, zooming in, zooming in. Stops about there. And then we need 4.5 seconds. So 4 seconds and 15 frames. So there we go. Grab that clip, hold it, let it snap to, let that one go. And then next we have the penguins. So from when the camera stops zooming in until the very end of the clip, 5.5 seconds. So penguins, where are you penguins? Oh, clip 10 right here. So again, we know it's to the very end of the clip, so we'll just drag this, and 5.5 seconds is 5 seconds and 15 frames right there. So we'll grab that, hold it, drag it down here to the timeline, drop it on the timeline. Now we can close that one out. Now we've got the Mirai native people. So from when the camera stops zooming in until the very end, 6.5 seconds. So clip 7 of the Mori, the native people. So 6.5 seconds from the very end, we can just grab our endpoint, and we can go 6 seconds, 15 frames. And then we drag that, drop it on the timeline. Next one is the panorama of the mountains, clip 13. We need the entire clip. So don't even have to open that one up. We can just drag it from our assets and drop it in. And now we need to just go File, Save. You can also save by holding Command and pressing S. And that's it for day 1A. You're all done with the first day.